Hey girl, hey. It is 7:30 in the morning, but I thought I'd get a little dressed up. Oh, hi, Bean. Oh, hi, Bean. So, I wanted today to be about, oh my God, do I look like a drag queen? Do I have too much makeup on? I don't know. I'm still practicing and, my eyebrows, these are fake. These are fake. I'm trying to override scabs. Anyway, in my Mel Robbins launch program, as I mentioned to you, I had posted that I had started this channel and this was my project, and I had somebody come tell me, I am a thriver of narcissistic abuse. I've been out over 10 years and I can testify that the healing journey is so incredibly worth it. Learning to love myself has brought incredible peace, love, joy, and gratitude and abundance. You will experience it too, Jess. Stay on your path of hope, belief, faith, and action. I'm available to connect if you like as a thriver who sees and feels you. I'm damn proud of you, Jess, for saying enough and getting yourself to this moment of moving forward in your hope and healing. You are worthy, you are capable, and you are loved. Yes. Yes. And I got a response from somebody in one of my narc recovery groups on Facebook. And someone reached out. Thank you for the invite. I just subscribed, already loving the channel. And I said, it's been such a long road, and I know you know it well. Thank you for your support as we heal together. And then they came back, I feel like I'm watching myself, and it's helping to clear some fog around what's real and what is the illusion. I'm not sure if you understand the difference it makes, but for me, it's profound. Yes. Yes. Now, I don't know, I can't garner from the name, and I have repeatedly said I understand gender as a construct. So all I can say to you is, Phoenix risen, stay on the risen. Okay? We're not going back. We're going up, right? Stay risen. And thank you. Thank you for your support and being on this journey with me. And I feel you. I see you right back at you. Nothing but support and love. And then I got quite like a lengthy, I don't know. Oh my God, my back. I don't know if you can see. I mean, it was a lot of pain in the story that was shared with me. And of course, somebody jumped in to say, he's not worth it. You're making yourself sick. Go love yourself. A narcissist's superpower is destroying you and then convincing everyone that you are the one that destroyed them. And all of that is so true. All of that is so true. And I'm not going to read my response per se. Maybe I will. Anyway, I don't want to share that story because I don't have the permission to. So I'm going to share my response. And since this is a narcissistic abuse recovery healing channel, we pretty much know what was said, do we not? So I said, I genuinely feel your pain. I want to make it clear that I feel very strongly narcissism is on a spectrum. And while my husband was listening, it doesn't mean there was comprehension. And for that, my son and I's safety, for my son and I's safety, he needed to leave. I am very grateful he is gone. Whether or not he gets actual help and it's anything more than performative and more manipulation, only time will tell. For my sanity, I have been distancing myself and learning everything I could about narcissism and narc abuse for years as I strengthened myself. I too have found therapists to be completely worthless or insanely unaffordable. I know you are hurting deeply, but you are a warrior. I hear so much strength and resilience in your story. You're completely and simply exhausted deep in your bones. I strongly encourage you to start to take your power back. Once you truly see a narc for who they are, there is no unseeing it. And you can develop the skills to make interactions less painful and almost come away laughing because they're so predictable. In the meantime, you must go no contact for your own sanity or learn to gray rock. In the meantime, please consider joining Dr. Ramani's group. Okay? The most inspiring and there is so much robust information out there, and you must be willing to save yourself. At the end of the day, it is an inside job. And no one is coming to rescue you. The most inspiring and encouraging aspect to that is you are a warrior with a spine of steel. You've dealt with a narc. Now you need to take all that strength that you misspend suffering and use it to turn your life into the greatest chapter you have ever known. It's a slow burn, but you can do it. I believe in you. So I want to be mindful of time, and I'm just going to kind of run through sort of these reflections. On the one hand, I had the support for me, this beautiful, beautiful thriver, right? All the way on the other side. I had the one in the middle that is like there, seeing it, in it, like on their way. And then I had someone who was deep, balls deep in the bowels of suffering. Still very, very much in it. And it's a spectrum for healing too, isn't it? And so one of the things that I just kind of wanted to say is that, one, we are fucking warriors. The issue is we are misspending our precious time and energy in the wrong place. What we need to do is we must be willing to look at the role we are playing in our own suffering. It is totally an inside job. There's no way around it. We need to consider, like that well-intentioned response that I read. Sometimes it can be, I even read it and I kind of cringe and I'm like, ooh, I understand where that person was coming from, and they're not wrong. But I think sometimes we need to be a bit more considerate and a bit less judgmental in terms of where people are in their journey. When you're balls deep in the goddamn gutter, you don't need somebody to tell you, focus on yourself. It's not helpful. You need somebody to understand that you just need gentle. You're in a fucking gutter. So what I wrote here as notes to myself is that, of course, I can sit here and tell you, move, get a better job in a different state, quit drinking, sober up, he's not worth it, blah, 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 blah. But I'm not the gatekeeper of your trauma. That's not what this is. I am sharing my story in compassion and hoping that it affects you in some way that you can affect change in your own life. I can't pull you out of the gutter. Only you can. But I can try to light the way with my little headlamp. You know, that I'm hoping to turn into like a Gotham, like bat signal size light. Right? But all I have right now is a little headlamp. But we'll get there. So at any rate, I'm not here to judge your journey. I've been in the gutter. And it's not for me to tell you that like your gutter isn't so bad because it has a nice view. Because my gutter has like turds that float by. Like, we're still in goddamn gutters. Both of us, all of us, we're in gutters. There's no fancy gutter. Okay? And everyone is struggling. And there's different aspects and spectrums to all of it. And no one can be the gatekeeper of anyone else's trauma. It's not okay. It's not okay. So, kindness, compassion, the same as hurt people, We need to have that kind of kindness and compassion for those on this healing journey with us. We have the spectrum of barely surviving to hella thriving. And we need to be trauma informed and cognizant of that as well as we are trying to support each other on this journey. Even the most well-intentioned, fuck that guy, right? Can be off-putting when really, like, you know, look, I know we can be enthusiastic in our approach because maybe we're further along in the process, right? But when you have a broken, cornered, depleted, gooey mess that you're trying to coax out of hiding, right? What you need are treats and a blanket and the promise of a hug if they come out. A promise of support, quiet, gentle. Come on, little fella. It's okay. You're safe. You're safe with me. I'm a safe place. I won't judge you. I won't tell you what to do. I'm just here trying to light your path and say it's okay. I've been there. I've been there. So when I was many years ago, when I was in Costa Rica, and I realized what a mistake I'd made, and I had been, you know, doing the backstroke in a bottle of Johnny Walker for fucking days. I'd reached out to my spiritual advisor from an ashram that I went to. And I was told, I was like, you know, I'm really losing my faith. I'm really scared. I feel like this was all a really big mistake and I don't know what to do. And it was very much a case of have faith. Go deeper into your practice. Mm-hmm. So even the most well-intentioned can end up being gaslighting and abusive. Toxic positivity, no listening, dismissive. No one knows but you. And being told to buck up isn't helpful on any level. I am not going to tell you to stop drinking. I'd be the last person that would tell you that. Oh my God. I know it was messy and it didn't look good. It was not cute. It's not a good look. And I need to come up with better coping skills. And I am. But I will encourage you, if you are going to drink, ask yourself why. And use it medicinally. I know that sounds funny. Don't just go to get drunk and forget and wallow. When I was drinking, it was very much processing. I had to get beneath the chatter. I've always said this. You know, my child doesn't even believe I'm an alcoholic. I had to get below the chatter because there's so much going on. Complex trauma, PTSD, neurodivergence, bone-crushing anxiety. How the fuck are you supposed to work shit out when you're coming from this place of complete depletion? So I tried to use it medicinally. Get under all of the chatter. Lay there, drunk as a skunk, looking at the sky, praying, begging, listening to my angels. That's what I did. So the tough love can come later if necessary, but I feel very strongly that we owe it to ourselves to be a bit more trauma-informed through this process. And I'm still learning myself. But I think we just kind of need to support each other wherever we are on our journey. I am not going to have any less support for a thriver than I am someone that's still very, very much in the gutter looking at the view with turds rolling by, wishing they could just kind of roll out and at least be on the grass or the concrete, you know? So these are my suggestions for today. My thoughts on therapists. I think it's a fucking racket. I'm not going to lie. I think it's a fucking racket. I think everything that you need is already inside of you. You need someone to help you bring it out. That's the deal, right? There is no one out there no one else that you need to go surrender your power to for a $45 fucking copay, who isn't going to know the slightest thing about what you're going through. It's just going to be more gaslighting and more abuse. My husband called 57 therapists, has explored BetterHelp, has exhausted all of the resources all across the state of New York. As a narcissist, could not find anyone. No one. My crisis counselor told me when I went and picked my son up early from school and we went to the local crisis center and we were in fucking crisis, and she looked at me and said, "He may kill you, but it's not illegal to be a narcissist." Grabbed my shit and left. How dare you? I was sitting there, all right, let's get to work. Exit strategy, let's go. And she was dismissive, gaslit me, was more abuse, and I fucking left. I don't find a lot of genuinely skilled, trauma-informed, affordable counselors / therapists / mental health experts. I just find a lot of broken people that have no fucking idea what they're talking about either. So I suggest what's worked for me. First and foremost, remember, I very strongly believe narcissism is on a spectrum. That being said, I am so grateful that my husband was willing to leave. Because if he did not, I would still be a prisoner. There are no two ways about that. We know. We don't have rights. I'll get into that later. But we know what shit's hitting for. And not everyone is that lucky. It is by the grace of God go I. If you are dealing with a Mr. Hyde with constant black in their eyes and there's no appealing to Dr. Jekyll's better nature, you need to get the hell out. Like your life depends on it, because it does. Focus on that and take that energy with you and use that as your motivator. You must come up with some kind of strategy, even if it's only in your mind to get started. And then the path, when you get on the path, like what does Rumi say? When you walk the path appears, or the path lights the way, or something to that effect, right? And so how do you do that? I very strongly encourage anyone out there that's feeling kind of this need for support, but you can't find a good therapist. What worked for me is that I have been devouring YouTube videos, like Fifth Element style. If you've ever seen that movie, like when she watches War, I've been watching Narcissism and just plugging into the Matrix and like, Tank, I need a Narcissism download. And that's what I've been doing. So I encourage you to subscribe and follow to the channels that are resonating with you. The Dr. Ramanis, the Les Carters, well-known professionals. Mel Robbins for inspiration for when you're ready. She's got all kinds of free options out there. Dr. Ramani has a monthly support group for narcissistic abuse survivors in recovery. It's $25 a month. I think she has some free options. I mean, she has a wealth of information out there to help you process what's happening, and it's free. It's free. Find someone that resonates with you. Sign up for her $25 a month. See if that works for you. But you must walk towards the light. You must start focusing on yourself. All of that misspent energy, pouring from an empty cup, begging someone to love you. Why? Fuck that noise. You are better than that. You are better than that. And that's what you need to focus on. That's what we need to focus on. What do we want? What do we want our life to look like? And the more you focus on that, the stronger you will get. The stronger you will get. There are self-aware narcissists out there offering to help narcissistic abuse survivors recover. And while I appreciate where they're coming from, and I can see they are trying to do good work, there's an ick factor there. There is just like this tremendous ick factor that I can't get down with on any level. I've tried. But if there are self-aware narcissists out there, they really need to be trying to help other self-aware like other narcissists trying to become self-aware. Narcissists helping a narcissist survivor recover. I don't know. There is still, deep in my gut, it still feels incredibly toxic. And that me as an abuse survivor would go to you as a narcissist. There's an ick factor that I can't get down with, and I stay way the hell away from that. I'll listen to it. I will see what's being said, but I don't, no. Some of these people have only been in therapy like a year. These self-aware narcissists have been like a year. And what, I don't know. I'm not going to disparage anyone. I appreciate what they're trying to do. I just feel like perhaps there are less toxic options out there for people in recovery. I'm just saying. But kudos to you for being self-aware and trying to break the cycle. That, like big ups, mad props for you for that. But I'm reading and listening to like these stories of despair and suffering, right? And it just hurts me so much, and I feel it and I know it so well deep in my bones. And I read these stories and I'm like, because we know I'm something of a musically inclined, right? And I'm reading these and I'm like, oh, I know this pain. You know what I'm saying? Like Wilson Phillips comes right in. Why do you lock yourself up in these chains, right? I need singing lessons. But anyway. So my prescription to that, for every action, there's a reaction. What I am prescribing to anyone that's listening, now, I'm not a doctor. I just play one on TV. I strongly suggest you grab Going Under by Evanescence and you replace all of that rumination with Amy Lee. And you listen to that banger straight up into your brain until it takes roots and you form new neurotransmitters. And you are like, let that be your battle cry as you strengthen those as you strengthen those boundary muscles. This is a slow burn. It is not a sprint. But be kind and gentle with yourself. We've had enough suffering. You listen to Going Under. Stop ruminating. We are not this is not the time to listen to Bonnie Raitt. No, I can't make you love me if you don't. This is not the time. This is not the time. You need to empower yourself, and you can do that by what you allow into your world. And the only things we should be allowing into our worlds right now is that which empowers us. We will know we've done the work where we can listen to I Can't Make You Love Me If You Don't and like laugh at the person we used to be. But now is not that time. Now we listen to Evanescence. Now we burn shit to the ground. Now, when we're knocked down 1,000 times, we get up 1,001. So I am telling you, let that be your battle cry. And put on your shit kickers and kick some shit. My knobby ass knees. Anyway, you get the point. You get the point. Yeah. Anybody ever told Ronan your mother wears combat boots? You know, he'd be like, and? Get yourself some combat boots, girl. Get in the fucking ring. Anyway, as a quick PS, I wanted to mention, if you have not seen it, definitely check out Gabor Mate's The Wisdom of Trauma and start to reflect on how your childhood trauma has played a role in your relationship patterns. It's one of the best places to start. It's one of the biggest epiphanies, because once you can name it, right? Once you can name it, then we can start healing it. But so much of this comes from childhood, and we just need to unpack that, right? And also, I wanted to throw out there, while you're out there kicking some shit, don't forget to get creative. I need to come up with a different word than craft, because I said the word craft so much that I'm like, not craft again, but do a goddamn craft. Get creative. Paint. Take a pottery class. As I had mentioned in one of the videos before, my son has started summer and it's not school anymore. And so he has a friend sleeping over all week. And we did some crafts last night. And it was so nice and so fun and so gentle and so good to get our hands dirty. So I had bought, over a year ago, almost a year ago, July, almost a year ago, in Marshall's on a Lark, I bought this pottery kit, and it's just set on the shelf collecting dust. So last night we made our creations. And it was a really lovely, gentle time to connect. So if there's something that you enjoy doing, do more of that. Do more of that. But anyway, all right, fierce ass queens, have a great day kicking some ass.